Most people walked past Daniel without seeing him. The city had learned not to look. Edgar never learned that. A crow does not know what a homeless man is. He only knows what a person is. And he chose this one. This is bound to survive. Daniel was on the ground when the woman found him. Not sitting. On the ground. It was February in Seattle. 4 degrees Celsius. Rain. The pavement wet and cold. He had been there for over an hour. His blood sugar had crashed. He was diabetic, and he had not eaten since the previous morning. He was conscious, but barely. She stopped because of the crow. A large crow was standing on the pavement beside Daniel. It was not doing anything unusual. It was simply standing there, looking at the people who walked past, as if waiting for one of them to stop. Patricia stopped. She looked at the crow. She looked at Daniel. She called 911. The crow did not leave until the ambulance arrived. The crow did not leave until the ambulance arrived. He was conscious, but barely. Daniel was 52 years old. He had been a high school history teacher in Tacoma for 19 years. He had been good at it, genuinely good, the kind of teacher students remembered. He had a classroom full of books and a coffee maker and a policy of never turning away a student who needed to talk. His diabetes had been diagnosed 11 years ago. Manageable, the doctor had said, with medication and routine. Routine was what the street took first. He had been on the streets of Seattle for 3 years. He knew the shelters, the meal programs, the libraries that let you sit without buying anything. He had a system. It mostly worked. He knew the shelters, the meal programs, the libraries that let you sit without buying anything. He had a system. It mostly worked. Edgar had appeared in his life 8 months before the February incident. Daniel had been eating a sandwich on a bench in Occidental Square. The crow had landed nearby. Daniel had offered a piece of crust. The crow had taken it and come back the next day. And the next. He had brought Daniel things, small things, a bottle cap, a piece of foil, a button. Crows bring gifts to humans they trust. It is a documented behavior. Daniel had kept every one. In a small tin he carried in his jacket pocket, 14 objects, given one at a time, over 8 months, his most valuable possessions. Daniel had kept every one. In a small tin he carried in his jacket pocket, 14 objects, given one at a time, over 8 months, his most valuable possessions. Within a month, Edgar was finding Daniel wherever he was. Not always. Crows have their own lives, but often enough that Daniel had started to expect him. He had named him Edgar, after Edgar Allan Poe. It seemed appropriate. Crows are among the most intelligent animals on the planet. They use tools. They solve multi-step problems. They recognize human faces. Edgar had recognized Daniel's face within the first week. He had learned Daniel's routes through the city. He had learned which benches Daniel preferred, which library branch he used on cold days. The morning of February 14th had been difficult from the start. Daniel had not slept well. The shelter had been full, and he had spent the night in a doorway on 2nd Avenue. He had missed breakfast at the meal program. He had arrived 12 minutes after it closed. By 10 in the morning, he could feel his blood sugar dropping. The particular heaviness that preceded a crash. He knew this feeling. He had a small emergency glucose gel in his jacket. He reached for it. It was not there. It had fallen out in the night. He needed to get to the pharmacy 2 blocks away. He began to walk. He made it 1 block. He went down on the corner of 2nd Avenue and Madison Street. Not dramatically, his legs simply stopped holding him. He went down against a building wall, sliding to the pavement. The pavement was cold and wet. He was conscious, but his thinking was wrong. The particular fog of hypoglycemia. The city moved around him. People walking past. Some looked. Most did not. Nobody stopped. He tried to call out. His voice came out wrong. Thin. Without force. He was 52 years old, and he was a former teacher, and he was on a Seattle pavement in February, and nobody was stopping. Edgar arrived 4 minutes after Daniel went down. He became aware of Edgar the way you become aware of things when your thinking is wrong. Slowly, from the side, a weight on the pavement beside him. He turned his head. Edgar, standing on the pavement beside his right hand, his black eyes on Daniel's face. Daniel said, "Hey." His voice barely worked. Edgar tilted his head. Then he did something Daniel had never seen him do. He began to call. Not the soft sounds he made when he brought gifts. A loud, insistent, repeated call. Standing beside Daniel on the pavement, calling. He called for 11 minutes. People walked past. Some looked at the crow. A few looked at Daniel. Nobody stopped. Edgar called louder. He moved to the edge of the pavement, closer to the foot traffic. He stood at the edge and called at the people walking past. He moved to the edge of the pavement, closer to the foot traffic. He stood at the edge and called at the people walking past. Edgar called louder. His black eyes moving from face to face. Looking for something specific, Daniel watched him from the ground. His thinking was getting worse. At the 12-minute mark, Daniel lost consciousness briefly. He came back. The pavement, the cold, the rain on his face. Edgar was still there, still calling. The crow had not moved from his position at the pavement edge. Daniel thought, he is trying to get help. He thought this clearly, through the fog. He thought, a crow is trying to get help for me. He thought, I need to help him help me. He raised his hand, just slightly, just enough to be visible from the pavement. A hand raised. A crow calling. On a Seattle street corner in February. Patricia was 44 years old. She walked this route every Tuesday. She almost walked past. The crow stopped her. Not by doing anything dramatic, by standing at the pavement edge and looking directly at her as she approached, his black eyes on her face. She slowed. She looked at the crow. She looked past the crow. She saw Daniel on the ground. She saw his raised hand. She stopped. She called, "Joel." A paramedic tried to move the crow away from the work area. Edgar hopped 2 steps sideways. He did not leave. As the paramedics worked, a small crowd had gathered. Not for Daniel, for the crow. Standing beside the man on the ground, not leaving. Someone took a photograph. It was posted to a Seattle neighborhood Facebook group that evening. The caption read, "Does anyone know this man? A crow refused to leave him until help came." The photograph was shared 47 times in the first hour. A social worker named Diana saw it. She recognized Daniel. She had worked with him at a shelter 18 months before. She called the hospital. She visited him the next morning. She said, "I have been looking for a way to help you for a long time." She said, "I think a crow just gave it to me." She visited him the next morning. She said, "I have been looking for a way to help you for a long time." She said, "I think a crow just gave it to me." Diana connected him with a transitional housing program that had a unit available. She connected him with a clinic that managed his diabetes medication. She connected him with a program that helped former teachers re-enter education. None of it was immediate. All of it was real. Daniel laughed. It was the first time he had laughed in a long time. Diana connected him with a transitional housing program that had a unit available. She connected him with a clinic that managed his diabetes medication. She connected him with a program that helped former teachers re-enter education. Daniel moved into transitional housing in April. He was not sure if Edgar would find him. Edgar found him on the third day. He appeared on the windowsill of Daniel's second-floor room, his black eyes through the glass. Daniel opened the window. Edgar left something on the sill, a small piece of blue sea glass. Daniel put it in the tin. 15 objects now. He still carries the tin. He will always carry the tin. Daniel returned to education 6 months later. Not as a classroom teacher, not yet. As a tutor at a community center in the Central District, 3 evenings a week. He tells his students about Edgar, not as a miracle, as a fact. He says, crows remember faces. He says, this one remembered mine. He says, he showed up when I needed someone to show up. He says, that is what loyalty is. It does not require a reason. It does not require understanding. It just shows up. Edgar still comes. Not every day. Crows have their own lives. But often enough, Daniel still goes to Occidental Square sometimes. He sits on the same bench. He brings bread. He waits. Edgar usually comes. He lands nearby. He tilts his head. He looks at Daniel with those sharp black eyes. And Daniel looks back. 2 beings who found each other on a city street. One of them had been forgotten by the world. The other one had not learned to forget. He lands nearby. He tilts his head. He looks at Daniel with those sharp black eyes. And Daniel looks back. 2 beings who found each other on a city street. One of them had been forgotten by the world. The other one had not learned to forget. One of them had been forgotten by the world. The other one had not learned to forget. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe to Bound to Survive, a new story every week.